I remember I went back home crying, and so I started looking at myself, how much a failure I am, that I cannot even take care of my own wife, later on my children. And truth be told, I was almost going to the village because I began accepting some of the advices that I was getting from the village people, that there was nothing much good that would come from our family. Hello, welcome to the first in a series of interviews that we will be bringing to you about the Norland International Uganda family. My name is John Bijemano. The youngsters call me JB. And today I'm bringing you a story that has its setting in a very unlikely location. And that location is Kasese in western Uganda. And this is the city, this is the town that is the setting for an amazing story of global success, the story of Edson Prucka. Edson, welcome to the program. Thank you very much, Uncle JB. Pleasure meeting you. We have to dive into this story fairly quickly. And so it's very tempting to say, from Kasese to success, like you probably never believed was possible, but has become possible. Very, very true. I want you to take us very quickly. Give us that quick transition from Kasese, the Kasese that I've described, and the success you've achieved, and then we will now dig in and get in some of the details.
Well, Uncle JB, thank you very much for this opportunity. And to quickly dive into your question, if you had asked me 20 years ago where I would be, definitely I wouldn't tell you that I would be here where I am today. Because I come from the kind of background, well, you talk about Kasese. If I mention the village where I come from, nobody knows about the village. Nobody, not only the village, but even the family where I come from.
Yes.
I remember some, very interesting moments when I was growing up as a child. In Kasese, we eat ovundu. That's our staple food. I saw my mother preparing the vundu, that is cassava flour, and before you mix ovundu, before you mix the flour, you first fetch a cup or two of water, yes, from the boiling water, yes, and then you pour in the flour, you mix a little bit, and then just in case the flour is enough, you might not need, but in case you need water, you bring back the other water. So I saw my mother do that. Now for her, that water that was removed was the sauce. So after she's done kneading, she puts that water on each of our small plates and a tin of salt. And so you start the business. Pick your vundu, yes, mold it, pick the salt, put in your water, hot water, mix a little bit, and you eat. And that's the kind of food that raised me up. Wow. I come from such a humble background that when I look back, I just say glory to God. So with this background, ask me, how did you even study back? Did I study much? I only was able to, finish senior 6, which I studied because of the help of relatives and a few other friends who supported my parents to see that I finished senior 6. And then I came to Kampala to study, but I had to work for 2 years to save some money. And I went to college. I had a dream of becoming a doctor, so I get into college. I studied, and by the end of the first year, all the savings that I had were drained completely, wiped out. Somebody had promised that they would support me in school, and unfortunately, she also passed on. So I meet the registrar when it's very days old. And she says, Edson, I am sorry to tell you this, but you have to leave school now because You don't have money you cannot afford. So I drop out of college in the first year. And that's all. I never went back. I'm still hoping maybe one day I'll go back. So for you, the story of go to school, get a good job, ended my junior university. He crashed it the first year. But the story we know, the Edson Prucka story we know, I sometimes, it's such an engaging, it's such a profoundly deep story. I call it the story of the pain of love. And the story starts with the story of your beloved wife.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us about how that part of the story begins. I have been blessed, Uncle Jebi, to marry the most beautiful girl in the world. Her name is Joy Kate. I know she'll get the video. She's the most beautiful in the world. But this was my friend when I was in college. And after I dropped out, she gets to know about it and, gets closer to me, helping me here and there. And then eventually she becomes my girlfriend because she saw probably a man who, besides the challenges I was going through, I still had some kind of vision in me. And we get married 2015, about that. But the defining moment comes in 2017 when she gave birth to our second child. We were living in one single room. I don't know if I can. I believe the producer can get a picture of that room and share it with you. No chairs, just a bed and a small box where we keep utensils. And so she gets a complication when she was giving birth to that child, and she was operated from a government hospital. A few weeks later, she starts developing pain here on the left side.
Yes.
At the scar. So we told the doctor, he gave us a prescription. She takes the medicines. 3 weeks later, no improvement. We go back to the hospital. They change the prescription. 1 month, no improvement. We go back to the same hospital, meet another doctor. They change the prescription. 3 months later, the situation is getting out of hand. Now she cannot even lift the baby because the pain is unbearable. Now the painkillers she was using are no longer working. We have now to give her a much stronger painkiller. And this goes on. And another friend says, no, try a different hospital. So we go to another hospital. And the doctor does a scan. He says, there is a non-living substance in her womb that we need to operate and remove. That's the reason why she has a lot of pain. Well, that sounded like relief to me, but when they mentioned the amount of money that I needed for the surgery,
another dim. I remember went back home crying.
and so I started looking at myself, how
Much a failure I am, that I cannot even take care of my own wife, later on my children. And truth be told, I was almost going to the village.
because I began accepting some of the advices that I was getting from the village people, that there was nothing much good that would come from our family, truly. So we were there struggling. 1 year, 2 years later, she's in pain, deep pain, and somebody introduces a pad. A Norland pad.
Yes. Good friend of mine, an angel, really. I pray that God blesses McLean every day of my life. I see God.
Because I never knew how much. She had the story of my wife, how she was struggling, and she says, no, young lady, try this pad. If it works for you, here's my number. If it doesn't, well, at least that's the best I can do. So Joy picks the pad, the Norland lad, the Nori pads. She puts on the pad. She didn't even want to wait until we go home and freshen up. No, puts on the pad right there. And long story short, that very night, she started bleeding.
and blood clots come out. Blood clots in all sizes.
Yes.
Second day, by the third day, the bleeding stops and the pain also disappears. The pain of 2 years. 2 years pain.
Yes.
That's when I said, no, Manny, I need to confirm. Are you sure you don't have pain? Says, no, I don't feel pain. So out of curiosity, I go to the internet and start reading about the neuropad. That's when I discovered the regenerative part of it. That's when I discovered that the neuropad was not an ordinary neuropad, it is regenerative medicine. Wow. So I quickly called a few, this same lady, McLean. I said, I think I need to learn more. So go to the office, I learned more about the products. I met other people who had used the products, different products, and I was amazed. So what do? If you have got good products, you remember friends, you remember family members, so you remember other people around you. So I quickly start calling a few friends. I call Rolly, I call Lillian, I call a few friends. I call Mama Twist Chambade. I call a key friends that I quickly remembered because now I had seen a product that I believe would help them as well.
Yes.
They tried the product. 3 days later, Madam Peace calls me and says, this product, you have something. I or Rani when he says that product. And I had seen, because I have seen so many companies, network managing companies that deal in wellness products.
Yes, I was
one, but was I have seen people making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now, for me, my challenge was I never believed in those things. I'd actually call them basic.
Yes.
But now that I have seen a product that works and even my people are happy about it,
Yes.
I talked to Joy, like jokingly, were like, I think this product can sell. So we join Norland and we sign up using the money that we're getting from different people. So we're calling a few friends who needed the product. They send us the money and we used their money to open up our account, and then we give them the products.
Wow.
We start sharing. By God's grace, these people connect us to more others. Those ones bring others. Others bring others. The product is so good, Uncle JB. Norland has good products. I mean, Admit. There are none, like you cannot compare them with any other. So the product keeps marketing itself and bringing referrals, and referrals bringing other referrals. And that's how we begin building the network. 3 months later, we broke the box. We had a small box where we were saving our profits and bonuses. And there was 5 million shillings in that box.
Wow.
Ask me why 5. Of course, 5 million now is not a big issue. Not then I had Nova coming where you were carrying Rome. So that's about $1,500.
Yes.
My son, Randy, was not going to school. He was 5 years. And I had failed to even raise money to take that young man to school. And I remember that was our first dream come true. We sent him to school in second term. That's when he starts school.
Yeah.
We start work. We continue pushing the business, sharing the products, introducing the products to people, and people gave us contacts and the market grew. Before I knew it, some phone calls were coming from Congo. Some phone calls were coming from Tanzania. Some phone calls were coming from Kenya. Now the business is expanding beyond Uganda, crossing the boundaries. Long story short, today now we have a distributorship, not customers, but distributors who, because of our story, they have also started the same business. More than 12,000 of them. 12,000 plus in more than 10 countries.
Amazing.
Now we are building business massively because now as you continue using these products, you learn more, you understand and appreciate them more. And then we decided now to go professional. Go to the internet, get some trainings, great trainings, videos, testimonies, and begin empowering and sharing skills within the team. I was coming to that point about you helping people because the thread that comes through your story
is the thread of you wanting to help to empower other people. Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I have listened to your story without a single mention of the amazing success that we now know has come to you and Joy and your family. And I can listen to a whole story without you mentioning the financial gains, the material gains that have come out of this. First of all, you are not from a business background, you are from a very humble background. Right. So, what explains the success you've achieved and how you've been able to grow a business that is now in 10 countries without coming from a business background? Tell us about that.
Well, it's some of these things you can only understand them if you got into my shoes and practically feel what it feels for me. But it's something I would not easily explain. The excitement, the joy that I feel in my heart, not only because of the money and the transformation that this opportunity has brought to us as a family, but what we've been able to do for the people around us. I walk around and, everybody's calling me papa, 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 papa. It's not really because of my age or because I'm their biological parent, but one, the fact that I introduce an opportunity to you, yes, which eventually saves your life, but most importantly, the support that we have built around the community, around the team, working with one another to achieve massive success. And when I talk about massive success, now, to somebody else, it might look small, but to me, who comes from a non-business background, really, it's hard for someone of my situation, of my background, to break the barrier and make the kind of success that I am making currently. But the teamwork. Quickly, I was able to identify a few key leaders, and I'm really grateful to my leaders. And we started building what we call the success empire. Would sit every morning, discuss experiences, solve the challenges. You tell me your challenge, I share with you my experience. We read the book, we share some skills, and slowly by slowly, even those of us who had no business background started learning some skills. The truth is, if you must succeed in anything, you must learn how to do it. Absolutely. And I think this is where most people lose the point. They get involved in something, in a great business, but they don't have the patience to learn. Yes. Later on, even the interest to sit down and get the skills. You cannot succeed in business if you don't have the business skills. It's not possible. You will make mistakes, you make losses, and you will hate the business. So it's the training culture that we have developed in our team that has enabled all of us to succeed. Yes. In our first year of business, I qualified for my first car together with 6 of my downlines, 6 of the team leaders I was building with. So there are 7 cars in the team. In the second year, motor vehicles, yes, beautiful cars, by the way. We don't have cheap cars in our team. We drive good cars. Because the company gives you good money. Why not? The business is good. People think some of people are slick, they are sick, they are looking for products that can help them. So we got 6 cars in our team. And because somehow many of us were from that close background, of course, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. You can tell that my background would only give me the kind of friends who are similarly, the same. So I don't have so many rich friends at that time. That's true. So we all begin from this shaky background. But by God's grace, a year later, we're all driving, 6 of us. In the second year, that COVID year now, because we started 2019, 2020 COVID year, we didn't get a lot of success, but at least we were able to get another 7 cars. So 6 plus 7, those are 13 cars. In the third year, the success grew. We had also another about 14 cars. In the fourth year, the numbers grew. Today, 6 years later, there are more than 50 cars in my team. If I called my team meeting, we'll look for a hotel which has enough
parking space. These are good friends of mine. And I think, Uncle JB, not to forget, having success with friends, with your friends, yes, is something amazing. Yes. When a product is sold in my team, yes, there are more than 10 people that are paid on that same product. Yes. You get my point? Yeah. So everybody has something to take home to their family. And there's this global success that comes. It's not only me who is succeeding, yeah, my team members are succeeding. So we have more than 50 people in the team that have qualified for cars, more than 50 cars, and that's remarkable for me. Talking about lifestyle, yes, we have a lot of international trip qualifiers. We've been traveling, and it's beautiful to travel again with your friends. But also to hear stories of people for whom traveling in Norland was the first stamp in their passport. Yeah, we do a lot of things. You get on the plane and someone comes and say, "Thank you for introducing me to Norland. I'm on the plane for my first time. I need you to tell me something because we're running out of time. Yeah. I need you to tell me something about the concept of mindset. Yeah. The mindset shift. It's something that comes through in much of what you talk about, because I've listened a lot to you. I've learned so much from you. And one of the things you seem to talk about that could also explain the sort of success you're talking about in a short period of 6 years. Tell me why mindset shift is very, very important for this kind of business. Uncle JB, success begins from the mind. True. I read an article somewhere. I don't know whether it's true or not, but it was an article about Bill Gates, the richest man, and he had mentioned that even if you come from a poor background, the background you come from does not define your destination. Right? Does not. I strongly believe now that partly my success, our success, has come from the kind of mindset we have. Much as I was from that background, I grew up with a desire, burning desire to be better, to live in a better place, to change the life of my family, and to improve things. I grew up knowing that there is no one who is going to change my life but myself. I can assure you, the people that have succeeded that I know are people that own their success 100%. Yes. When you start something believing in yourself and knowing that it's up to me to make this change, you will look for everything possible to break through. Yes. Yes, there are challenges in business. Yes. Just like any other network marketing has challenges. Tell us how the mindset helps you to overcome the challenges, because everyone faces challenges. I'll give you an example. Up to now, I still meet people and tell them my story, and someone says, not true. Those products don't work. Those products are what? Those products are what? Up to now. But you know what? When I meet somebody and they give me their own perspective, I don't stop talking to people, because I respect the fact that that's your perspective. Now, if you have a toothache and I advised you that this toothpaste, I used it and it helped me, and you say no, well, I have done my part. If you say no, that's your problem. So mindset helps you to overcome objections. It helps you to overcome obstacles. It helps you to be solution-oriented. Instead of complaining about circumstances, you create solutions. You ask yourself, how can I overcome this? Who has ever gone through this challenge and how did they overcome it? And that's where our training system becomes very helpful. That in our training system, we have a lot of storytelling. And we learn from the stories of the successful people, how they built their empires. And from that, we are able to get solutions to our challenges and we get better. So mindset is very key. I want us to conclude I would have wanted to go back and conclude, for the sake of the girls and the boys watching this, I would have wanted to conclude at the point where you're stuck, you're with Joy and the children. She has been your friend, but she has seen something in you despite where you were at that time, which wasn't much, but she saw something, and that something has now proved itself to have been something. And I would have wanted to end there, but your success story looks like a story that is basically just beginning. Give us some kind of projection of where you see Norland going 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Give us a project. I don't have to think much about that because it's something we talk about with Joy every night. Looking at where we are coming from and where we are going, it's amazing. But let me first make this statement, Uncle JB. Potential is nothing without opportunity. Absolutely. There are many people who have potential. But if you don't get an opportunity to bring out your potential, when you don't get a platform that empowers your potential, it's nothing. It's nothing. I thank God that I was able to find this platform of Norland because it has become the opportunity that has helped me to bring out the potential that was lying in me. I know there are many people out there with great potential, and I would advise, by the way, anybody out there, if you feel you have potential in you, let me tell you, without an opportunity, that potential is nothing. You'll die with it. Yes. You'll die with your dreams. Now I look at where we live, where our children go, the cars that we drive on the street, and I begin to see myself and I say, who am I? Yes. But it's because of the potential coupled with the opportunity that eventually has changed our story. So my talking about the projection, what I see in the nearest future is that looking at what is happening in Uganda, actually, after creating 5 years of solid business in Uganda, we now rolled out our system because now the system is proven, it is good, it has produced results. There is no try and error anymore. So now we have rolled out the same system to expand into other countries. We have rolled into Tanzania, we have rolled it out into Zambia, we have rolled the same system in South Sudan, in Congo, in Malawi, in South Africa, or now we are using the same success system that we have used in Uganda that has given us results, and we are using it to empower others. Our system is purely online, so even a stay-home mother, even someone who is too busy but you only have 2 hours at night in your bedroom or in your sitting room, we can use those 2 hours that you have in your bedroom before you go to sleep. We can use those 2 hours to create business out of it. So now we are extending this opportunity to the people who have potential, so that we give them a platform. And I believe that my personal prediction and my personal goal is to make sure that I want to retire at 40. Because I believe that as these products continue, spreading out, testimonies are going out there, more people are coming into the business and learning that they can earn from their personal consumptions. And this is really great for me. I believe that in the next 5 years, we'll be having a huge team, actually the biggest team in Africa. And my target is to revolutionize the mindset of Africans and tell them that it's possible. You can do better. With the testimonies, the successes that I have seen, not only mine, because I've seen many companies where it's only one person who is successful. Now in Norland, it's different. Yes. We don't have one success story. We have many success stories. And Uncle JB, I want to thank God that this opportunity is linking me up to great people like you. Where would I have met you if it wasn't for Norland? And the spirit of not meeting you as just a friend, but as someone who has touched your life as well. Yes. When I meet people like you who have, by the way, your story touches me so much. Cancer is not something to play around with.
Absolutely.
And when I meet someone who has survived cancer,
Yes.
it humbles me down. I feel so, immensely overjoyed, more than the commissions and bonuses that company pays me. But the fact that I'm able to touch your life and another person, that joy and fulfillment, my friend, you cannot get it in any other business. It's a privilege for me to have had the opportunity that our paths have crossed in the way they have crossed, that I've been able to learn the things I've been able to learn from you. And I'd like us to conclude at a point that I cannot leave unsaid. Yeah. And this is the issue of the state of conventional medicine. Because you and I have learned through this concept of regenerative medicine about the extent of the challenges of conventional medicine as it has been over the last 100 years. And I'd like to ask you to say something to people in the medical profession, especially with regard to the need for them to open their minds and embrace new ideas and find new things and try to find a solution, because many people we meet in the medical industry seem to be absolutely closed in. As an African, I grew up using herbs. I saw the herbs healing my malaria. I saw the herbs healing my stomach pain. I have seen the herbs healing so many people. And so when it comes to alternative medicine or herbal medicine, for me, it's not a challenge. But I know there are people who have never tested any herbs, and I appreciate that's their background. We call them plant kings in Uganda. They are lucky to have not gone through what we went through. But Uncle JD, the truth is, yes, conventional medicine is good. But there is one element that is lacking in the concept of conventional medicine, and that is the root cause element. I will speak not as a professional, but from experience and from the little knowledge I have seen. It seems like most of the conventional strategies are geared to removing the symptoms.
Yes.
Managing the symptoms. You have pressure, so they are managing your pressure. So you're diabetic, we are managing your sugar levels so that they stay within range. But the medicine you're taking is not addressing the cause of the pressure, not addressing the cause of the sugar levels.
Yes.
Now, when I look at the alternative medicine, the regenerative medicine, it comes to address the cause, the actual cause. You are diabetic because the toxins in your body damaged your pancreas. You have cancer because the toxins have caused mutation in your cells.
Yes.
So when I bring the detox, I am removing the root cause. When I did the GI, I am helping those damaged cells to regenerate themselves. And I thank these Chinese people for not giving up on their traditional Chinese medicine. Like in Africa, the way we give up with African traditional medicine. For them, they have invested so much time and research in developing their traditional Chinese medicine. And I want to believe that we are also going to get there as Africa. So for now, let us impress the already existing developed herbal medicine, because there is a lot of research in that medicine. It is not crude. It is standardized.
Yes.
They remove the impurities. It's not the aloe vera that you're drinking. You're taking aloe vera extract. You're taking extracts of the plants, not the plant, not the juice. So these extracts have gone through a series of standardization, improvement. So that's why when you take the product, it has instant results. It has good results on you. Its efficacy is good. So my advice to the medical professionals is that I think now is the time when you become open-minded,
Yes.
to begin understanding the non-conventional.
Yes, in the medical school, you learned that, paracetamol is what the solution to this. But there are people who don't take paracetamol and they still get well. So now it's a time where you have to become open-minded and bigger research and begin to appreciate these alternative strategies.
So that instead of looking at alternative medicine as the enemy, they should embrace it. They should open their minds because it bridges a very important gap. Right now, Uncle JJ,
The alternative medicine industry is valued at $23 billion in terms of annual output. Billion US dollars. 10 years ago, this same industry was at $6 billion. From 6 to 23 in 10 years, there is no other industry that is growing fast like this industry. And I want to implore you to take time and understand and appreciate this industry. People's mindset is changing. People are now looking for lasting solution. And the lasting solution is a root cause based solution, not symptom management.
The point that says, let's look at the root cause, let's eliminate the cause of unwellness, because then the unwellness will take care of itself. I thank you so much for making the time for this show.
You're welcome.
And my guest today has been Edson Prucka, top distributor in Norland International, the Uganda family. And my name is John Bijemano, also known as Uncle JB. And until next time, I must say, ciao.